Why people get offended by the truth, but stay silent for the lies that destroy them. Listen up, because what I'm about to say might hit you right in the chest. Have you ever noticed how people explode when you drop a hard truth on them? They get defensive, they argue, they call you rude or insensitive. But when they're being fed a steady diet of lies, smooth, comforting deceptions that twist reality, they just nod along, scroll past, or worse, defend it like it's gospel. Why is that? Why do we fight the medicine but swallow the poison without a second thought? Today, we're diving deep into this, pulling no punches, because understanding it could save your life, your mind, and maybe even your soul. Stick with me. This isn't just talk, it's a wake-up call. Let's start with the basics. Truth hurts. It's like ripping off a Band-Aid that's been stuck on for years. It stings, it exposes the wound, and nobody wants to feel that raw vulnerability. Lies, on the other hand, are like a warm blanket on a cold night. They feel good in the moment. They tell you what you want to hear. You're fine just the way you are, even when you're heading off a cliff. Don't worry about that debt, it'll sort itself out. This relationship is healthy, ignore the red flags. Lies are designed to be palatable, easy to digest. They don't challenge you, they coddle you. And in a world that's already exhausting, who wants the extra work of facing reality? But here's where it gets real. According to Revelation in the Bible, and trust me, this is critical, the first sign of the end times isn't war, famine, or some apocalyptic collapse. No, it's deception. Not the obvious kind like monsters in the street or chaos everywhere. It's something far more dangerous, lies that feel reasonable, deceptions that slip in under the radar, dressed up as common sense or progress. Think about it. How many times have you seen society buy into ideas that sound good on paper but lead straight to destruction? Follow your heart. They say, as if our hearts aren't prone to every whim and emotion. Or live your truth, which really means ignore objective facts and create your own reality. These aren't wild conspiracies. They're everyday deceptions we accept because they're wrapped in feel-good packaging. Why do people get so offended by the truth? It's simple. Truth demands change. It shines a light on our flaws, our mistakes, our hypocrisies. When someone tells you, hey, that habit is killing you, it's not an attack, it's a lifeline, but we treat it like warfare. We lash out because admitting the truth means admitting we're wrong, and ego hates that. Ego wants to be right, even if it means staying stuck. I've seen it happen 1,000 times. You point out how social media is warping minds, turning us into comparison zombies, and suddenly you're the villain. How dare you judge my scrolling? But meanwhile, the algorithms are lying to us, curating feeds that keep us angry, divided, and addicted, and we stay silent. We like, share, and move on. Let me give you a personal example to make this hit home. A few years back, I had a friend who was deep in a toxic job. The company was lying to employees about stability, promising raises that never came, security that was a myth. I told him straight, "Get out now, this place is sinking and it's taking you with it." He got mad. Called me negative, said I didn't understand. Fast forward 6 months, layoffs hit, he was out on the street scrambling. But during those months, he stayed silent about the red flags, the late payments, the shady meetings. Why? Because the lie was comfortable. It let him avoid the hard work of job hunting, updating his resume, facing uncertainty. Truth would have forced action. The lie let him coast. This pattern plays out everywhere. In politics, we get offended when someone calls out corruption on our side. But we ignore blatant lies from leaders because they align with our biases. In relationships, we defend partners who gaslight us, but snap at friends who point out the manipulation. In health, we rage against doctors who tell us to cut the junk food, but quietly accept ads promising miracle pills that do nothing. It's insanity. And it's exactly what Revelation warns about, deception as the gateway drug to bigger disasters. Once you're hooked on lies that feel reasonable, you're primed for the real chaos, war, famine, collapse. Because if you can't spot the small deceptions, how will you handle the big ones now? Let's talk about why we stay silent in the face of lies. Fear is a big part of it. Speaking up against deception means risking backlash, isolation, even loss. In a cancel culture world, telling the truth can cost you friends, jobs, opportunities. It's easier to blend in, to go with the flow, but silence is complicity. When we don't call out the lies, we enable them to spread. Think about misinformation online. A fake news story goes viral because thousands see it, know it's bogus, but say nothing. Why? It's not my fight. Who am I to correct it? Meanwhile, that lie influences votes, decisions, lives. We're offended by truth tellers because they disrupt our comfort zone, but lies. They slide right in, unchallenged, and don't get me started on how this ties into spiritual deception. Revelation chapter 6 talks about the 4 horsemen, starting with the white horse, the conqueror with a bow and crown, but no arrows mentioned. Scholars say this represents false peace, antichrist-like deception that conquers through words, not force. It's subtle. It feels reasonable. Peace and safety, it promises, right before destruction hits. Sound familiar? Look at today's world. We're told everything's progressing, equality's winning, technology's saving us. But under the surface, division, control, erosion of freedoms, people get offended when you say, "Hey, this progress is a Trojan horse." But they stay silent as rights slip away, as AI tracks every move, as narratives shift to suit the powerful. So, how do we break this cycle? First, embrace the offense. When truth offends you, lean into it. Ask why. Is it because it's wrong or because it's right and you're not ready? Second, stop staying silent. Call out lies even if it's uncomfortable. Start small. Question that viral post. Challenge that family member's bias. Speak up in meetings. Third, seek real wisdom. Not the world's version, which is fleeting but eternal truth from sources like the Bible. Revelation isn't just prophecy, it's a manual for spotting deception. It says, do not be deceived. That's active, it requires vigilance. I've been there myself. I used to swallow lies hook, line, and sinker. Grew up thinking success was all about hustle, money, status. Got offended when mentors said, that's empty, focus on purpose. But the lies kept me grinding, burned out, unfulfilled. When I finally faced the truth, it hurt like hell, but it freed me. Now I live boldly, speaking out because silence isn't an option, and neither is offense. Truth is your ally, even when it feels like an enemy. Let's dig deeper into the psychology of this. Our brains are wired for cognitive dissonance, that uncomfortable feeling when beliefs clash with reality. Truth amplifies it, lies soothe it. Studies show we prefer information that confirms what we already think, even if it's false. It's called confirmation bias. So when truth challenges our worldview, we get defensive. We argue, deflect, attack the messenger. But lies that align. We embrace them, share them, build communities around them. It's why echo chambers thrive on social media. Facebook, Twitter, X, they're breeding grounds for reasonable-sounding deceptions. Take health misinformation, for example. During pandemics, truth-tellers warning about risks get shouted down. You're fear-mongering, but wild conspiracy theories. They spread like wildfire because they feel empowering, like you've got secret knowledge. People stay silent on proven facts but amplify the lies. Why? Emotion. Lies tap into fear, anger, hope in ways truth often doesn't. Truth is straightforward. Wear a mask, get vaccinated based on data. Boring. Lies. It's a global plot to control you. Exciting, offensive to challenge. In faith circles, it's the same. Revelation warns of false prophets who deceive with signs and wonders. Today, that's prosperity gospels promising wealth without work, or watered-down teachings that say sin's no big deal. People get offended when you say, that's not biblical, it's deception. But they stay silent as churches fill with feel-good messages that lead souls astray. It's heartbreaking. We need boldness. We need to be fearless in pursuing truth, even if it offends, and offense isn't always bad. It can be a catalyst. When Jesus spoke truth, people were offended left and right. The Pharisees, the crowds, they argued, plotted against him. But his words pierced hearts, changed lives. Truth divides, but it also unites the seekers. If you're offended by this message, good. Argue with it, reflect. That's how growth happens. Silence on lies, that's how decay sets in. Let's apply this to everyday life. In your job, if a boss lies about promotions, don't stay silent, speak up or walk. In friendships, if someone's deceiving themselves about addiction, tell the truth, even if it offends. In society, when media spins narratives, question them boldly. Revelation's deception isn't coming, it's here. AI-generated news, deepfakes, manipulated stats, all feeling reasonable until they're not. I could go on, but the point is clear. Choose truth over comfort. Be the one who offends with reality, not the one silent in deception. It takes courage, but it's worth it. Your mind, your freedom, your eternity depend on it. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you. Follow so we can stay connected. Your support matters more than you know, and I appreciate every moment you give to listen. Your support is important to me, and it helps me a lot. It keeps me active, bringing you important information with your support and comments, likes, and shares. Feel free to like, support, and subscribe. I will always provide content for you. I appreciate every support you give. Crowning Thoughts, True Speaker, copyright 2025 by Santiago D.C. Maria, licensed under Creative Commons Attribution. I love you all and I appreciate each of you. Stay blessed. Thank you for listening. Love always. Santiago D.C. Maria.